Good morning. This is the 226th day of the heroic fight of Ukraine. This is Natalia, and we are starting this series of briefings at Mediacentru Ukraine, Lviv. We have Anatolii Kurtiev with us. He's the mayor of Zaporizhia. Anatoly, good morning. Good morning. It's a difficult situation in Zaporizhia again. The Russians are shelling civilians. We have an air alert at the moment, and we are still in a bomb shelter. But lately, the intensity of shellings has been very high, and we used to suffer from shattered glass in our windows, but now they destroy our high-rise buildings. And lately, we have seen damages to two high-rise buildings. People have died, and at the moment we have 11 victims who died, but we are still searching for the bodies which may be remaining under the rubble. The rescue services have been working the whole night, and the municipal services started working, and also all other services are on alert and helping, and even the regular citizens are helping to find people. So everyone wants to help these people, and we really hope to be able to finish the works very quickly. We had many victims who have been injured. They are in hospitals, and 15 other people have been reported missing, so we keep searching for them. As soon as there's a continuous threat in the city and you have an air alert at the moment, so could you please tell us how the municipal services and other people working for to ensure security? Well, you see, municipal services are our heroes. We respect and love them a lot because these are the people who are the first to eliminate the consequences of shellings after the representatives of the rescue services. So they have the permissions to work at heights, and when there's no threat, they start doing their jobs to make sure that everything is repaired as soon as possible. And I would like to thank large enterprises in Zaporizhia who have provided the helmets and bulletproof vests to our municipal services, because these people are working under very dangerous conditions, and at the moment we have already procured 300 bulletproof vests and 150 helmets, and we will keep procuring these things. Russia is using Iranian AFVs. What other weapons do they use in regard to Zaporizhia? Well, these are C-300 all the time, and also Iskanders. So this is the weapons they use against us. Whatever they have, everything is used against us, but we will withstand because we are a Cossack city. We will stand until the end. And considering the fact that the Russian occupiers have occupied a part of the Zaporizhia oblast and have been attacking civilians and shelling the civilians. So what does it mean? Does it mean they are shelling, well, the occupied territory? Or why are they doing that? Well, you see, I believe that this is because our soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers, are very close to them and chasing them. So they need to report to their dwarf that they are advancing. But you see how they are advancing. They are just shelling civilians. They are terrorists. Russia is a terrorist state. And considering the tragic events that happened on the 30th of September, and considering the violations of the rules of war by Russia, the decision was taken to suspend humanitarian columns going to Zaporizhia. So when are you going to resume this movement? Well, first of all, there is a delay on the part of the occupied territories. So previously, we used to have 300-400 people entering our part of the oblast every day. And now these are like 30-40 people, and it's really very dangerous in the moment. So you all know what happened to the humanitarian column when they just started shelling these vehicles, and more than 30 people died as a result. Many people were injured. So there is a kind of a delay, but I think that if we manage to achieve certain stability, then the military administration will allow movement in that direction. Well, the people who live on temporarily occupied territories of Zaporizhia Oblast signed a kind of a petition to the military administration to allow the movement to the occupied territories. So, what will be the alternatives on the part of the administration for these people? Well, I'm sure that the military administration will take the right decision, and if they are not giving their permission at the moment, that must have there have to be some reason behind that. So we shouldn't risk the lives of regular people. And considering that the air alert continues and the enemy is shelling the city, so what should be stressed at the moment? Well, every time we tell people to go to bomb shelters, but people get used to explosions, and some of them neglect these warnings, and as a result, the results may be very tragic, as you may have seen. But when there's no air alert, the city keeps working and living. All municipal services keep operating. We have water supply, we have electricity supply, and we managed to provide with all the services both the residents of the city and also the IDPs. As far as I understand, evacuation from Zaporizhia has been suspended, just like the reception of IDPs. Or how does it happen? No, everything is happening. Evacuation is taking place. We also receive IDPs. It's just that there are much fewer people because of the situation. And what about the IDPs? How do you provide assistance to them? Well, everything works as it used to. So they come to a humanitarian hub, which we have. Then they undergo a checkup, and they receive medical assistance if they need psychological assistance if they need it. We have child psychologists working there, and also pediatricians working there, so they get any initial help they need. And then if they need any specialized assistance, they are referred to a hospital or to other physicians. And after they undergo these checkups, they are provided with temporary housing. These may be our municipal uh, uh, institutions, like kindergartens, for example, but we have a very big problem that we used to be a transit city, so people moved on, went to the western regions of Ukraine or abroad, but now people want to stay in Zaporizhia. And considering the fact that the situation is very difficult here, well, regardless of this, people still want to stay here, and we have been discussing this problem on multiple occasions with our services and with the regional administration and also with the government, because Zaporizhia is not ready to accept so many people. We don't have sanatoriums, we don't have many governmental institutions which could be used as centers for IDPs. We have municipal facilities which we can temporarily use, but we keep talking to IDPs, persuading them to go further into the country to the places where they have better living conditions. So we see the places which have been shelled in Zaporizhia. So what can you tell us? What do you know at present? Well, people keep working there all the time and finding new people, new victims. So could you please tell us about what you know at this moment? Well, I have already mentioned that we have 11 victims and 15 people have been reported missing. And uh, until all these things are well liquidated, we can't talk about the exact figures. So, how long are you going to well keep searching the place to find other people? Well, I should thank our rescue services because they have been working round the clock. So they worked all night and they have already cleared the debris mm, to the second floor. These constructions are already safe, so now we have started engaging municipal services and volunteers and anyone willing to help. And we would need, well, another day to finish the works. There's also a lot of threat to the critical infrastructure in the city. So, what about electricity supply in the city? Is it restricted or does it work as usual? What concerns electricity supply, everything is all right at the moment, but you have rightly mentioned that they are shelling critical infrastructure, and we have already several explosions at the substations, and we have again the information that one of the substations have been targeted. They want to threaten, to intimidate us, but they won't manage to do that. We have mobilized the well, emergency services who will repair everything as soon as it becomes safe to go there. We had a situation when one district was without electricity supply for a day, but generally we have no problems with electricity supply. If we have any emergencies, we have additional sources of electricity supply we may use. And also the heating season is nearing. So how does the city look for various alternatives to make sure that the residents of Zaporizhia are supplied with heating? Well, everyone understands that the heating season will be very difficult, and we inform the residents of the city and also the IDPs who come here about that. We have several options. So one option is if we have less gas, what buildings will be disconnected and which will not be disconnected. And then if we don't have any electricity supply, what is going to happen then? Then we also have a scenario when we don't have any gas, but we have only electricity supply. And also there's a scenario when there's no gas and no electricity supply. So then we will organize the heating hubs for the residents of the city, and we are working in all districts of the city. We divide them into sectors, and each sector should have several heating hubs. This may be a municipal facility or well, private building, doesn't really matter. Wherever it is possible to disconnect the building from the centralized heating supply and to organize heating using coal or pellets, that's an option as well. And also, we are thinking some mobile boiler rooms which could be used. We also consider the possibility of using generators and also using just well, regular heaters to help the citizens. So we are working on alternative mapping, and we are indicating buildings there. So we are doing everything we can to ensure that we survive this winter. And what can you tell us about the amount of fuel remaining in the city? What do you mean by fuel? Well, how how much resources does the city have to provide heating? Well, at the moment we don't have any limitations. All well, the heating points that will and plants are ready to organize the heating season. We have enough gas, so as soon as it's time to start, we start the heating supply to the buildings without any delays. And we are also procuring coals and pellets. We are procuring additional fuel to make sure that we have something in store. And we also have reserves located in various districts in case of any emergencies, and we continue working with these reserves because we see that Zaporizhia is being attacked all the time. Thank you. This was Anatolii Kurtiev, the acting mayor of Zaporizhia. Thank you, Anatolii, for this discussion. Glory to Ukraine, glory to its heroes, and we'll meet at 10:30. Stay tuned.